protests erupt across Hong Kong. Chief Executive Carrie Lam called them organized riots, so I'm braving the danger and heading into the chaos. It was the night of Sunday, June 16th, right after 2 million people took to the streets of Hong Kong. They were protesting a controversial extradition bill that could see Hong Kong authorities send people to mainland China for trial. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam called last week's protests organized riots. That was after police launched 150 tear gas canisters into the crowd. I mean, Sunday's protests seemed pretty peaceful, at least during the day. It was Father's Day after all. But as night fell, a fringe group of extremists occupied this 8-lane highway near the Hong Kong government offices, and I could smell trouble in the air.
Shelly, what are you doing? Why aren't you in your safety gear?
What?
What are you doing? Why aren't you in your safety gear? Don't you know this is where the protests turned violent last week?
Have you looked around? I really think it's fine.
But I wasn't convinced. The place looked like a war zone.
Is that a tank?
That's definitely a bus with pandas.
She may have a point. This doesn't exactly sound like a war cry. And the police didn't exactly seem on edge. In fact, it didn't even seem like they needed to be there, though clearly someone should have called the grammar police.
Are you sure it's safe?
Why don't we just walk around and maybe talk to some people?
Okay. But I'm at least wearing the helmet and the goggles.
Were these mastermind rioters just waiting for a chance to strike? Or just a bunch of kids standing around looking at their cell phones? Or sitting around looking at their cell phones? Or lying around looking at their cell phones? Kids these days.
So are you one of these violent protesters I keep hearing about?
No.
Where are those people?
Sorry.
Where are they? Where are those violent protesters? I'm freaked out.
I'm not sure.
Are you one of those violent protesters I've heard about?
No, definitely not. Yeah, I am a peaceful protester.
That's just what a violent protester would say. So are you one of those violent protesters?
No, no, I'm not, because I'm scared too. I don't really support being violent.
So you're one of those violent protesters I've heard about?
Yep.
This doesn't make sense. Carrie Lam said these were rioters. Does that mean this wasn't an appropriate use of force?
Well, so then who got violent last week?
Police do the firing first.
The police fired first?
Yeah. We are peaceful.
We don't want to hurt anyone. We don't want to hurt the police.
So
we all Hong Konger.
So you're putting on the goggles and the helmet to protect yourself from the police?
We have the goggles, helmet in our bags already. Okay. In case the police put the tear gas or the anything on to us, we will do our protection.
So it's some of the police I need to watch out for,
yeah,
not
we need
the
to watch out
protesters.
for police, not the protester.
I was beginning to think that Carrie Lam may have been wrong to describe this
Thank you.
as an organized riot. I mean, there's been absolutely zero looting in a place with a lot of high-end stores and malls. Crowds even moved aside for an ambulance.
Okay, I found the water guy. That was nice.
There were also a couple of water guys too.
Yeah.
And all the water stations.
Somebody offered Shelley a sandwich.
Oh, really? Oh, that's lovely.
It was. It was very lovely, actually.
Actually, it makes me want to cook up a bunch of sandwiches to, bring here and be like, hey, anyone want some? Anyone hungry?
I'll wait here for one of those sandwiches.
I'm beginning to think I may have overreacted. Slightly.
Hey,
Hey.
what's wrong?
Oh, well, I just witnessed a once-in-a-lifetime historic moment of a group of non-violent protesters with no leader changing the world.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I was just kind of hoping to become the leader of the revolution myself, but I guess they don't need me.
Don't worry, Chris. You'll always have China Uncensored.
Thanks, Shelley.
I think this is the continuation of a beautiful friendship.